Good morning, children. Sairam. I again welcome you all to the online class of economics. Children, today I am going to start the next chapter of our book, Statistics for Economics, and that is chapter number 9. And the name of our chapter is Measures of Central Tendency, that is Arithmetic Mean. Children, this is the first video of this chapter, and in this video, we are going to learn up some of the important topics of this chapter. Like we are going to learn what the introduction of the measures of central tendency, objectives and functions of average, and what is arithmetic mean, individual series, discrete series, and continuous series. And thereafter in the next video we are going to learn up this particular topics of this chapter. So children, let us start with the first topic, that is introduction and meaning of measure of central tendency. Children, measure of central tendency means a central tendency refers to an average or an central value that represents the statistical series. Like this is a value which is an average value, or it is known as the central value, which is representing the entire statistical series. So if we're talking about an average is a single value within the range of the data that is used to represent all the values in the series. Since an average is somewhere within the range of the data, that is, it is sometimes called as measures of central tendency. Children, this is a definition which is given by Professor Croxton and Croton. And in average, we are going to learn the two different types of averages. Like the first one is your mathematical averages, and the second one is your positional average. In mathematical average, you are going to learn the three kinds of arithmetic mean. Like the first one is arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and the third is harmonic mean. Children, arithmetic mean is there in your topics, whereas the harmony and the geometric mean is not in your syllabus. It is a part of basically the graduation top level, and you guys will be learn this kind of means in the graduation. So what is the measure of central tendency? Children, a measure of central tendency basically provides a very convenient way of describing a set of scores with a single number that is used to describe the performance of the group. So it is also defined as a single value that is used to describe the center of the data. So there are three commonly used measures of central tendency, which are as follows. Like first one is mean, median, and mode. What is mean? Children, we can call it arithmetic mean, or we can also call it an average. So this means is also called as an average, and these are basically of three times as I just said. It is first an arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. What is arithmetic mean, children? The arithmetic mean is obtained from a set of numbers by dividing the sum of those numbers by the number of the observation. Like if x1, x2, x3, and x4 and so on up to xn are the n observation, then the arithmetic mean can be obtained like x bar. Children, arithmetic mean is being representing with x bar, and that is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 and so on, and divided with xn. I mean, if the total number of observation is up to the nth term, then we will use to add the all observation of nth term and dividing with xn, I mean the total number of the observation. So in this way we can calculate an average. Children, now we are going to learn the next topic, I mean the objectives and the functions of an average. I mean, what are the basic functions as well as the objectives of an average. Now, our first objective is to present huge data in a summarized form. Children, as you all know, it is very difficult to represent a large number of numerical data. So, averages summarizes such data into a singular number and a singular figure, which makes it easier to understand and remember. For example, to understand the individual family's need for the water during the summer, it is very difficult. Therefore, the knowledge of an average quantity of water needed for the entire population will help the government in planning for the water resources. Secondly, is to make comparisons easier. Children, uh, just because of an average, it's became very helpful for making comparative studies, as they reduces the mass of the statistical data to a singular figure. So such comparisons can be made either at a point of time or over a point of at a period of time. So, children, basically, averages help in making comparisons, as I just said, in the different sets of data. For example, children, if a comparison of the per capita income of India and USA shows that per capita income is much lower than the per capita of income of USA. So, accordingly, it is concluded that India is a poor country. So basically, it facilitates in making comparisons easily. Now, the third one is to help in decision making or formulating the policies. Children, average provides such values which becomes a guidelines of decision makers. Most of the decisions are to be taken in research of a planning as are based on the average value of the certain variables. So average help also in making formulation of the policies, like as I given an example that the India's per capita income is very less as compared with the per capita income of USA. So accordingly, it becomes clear for the government to focus on such economic policies as are likely to increase the per capita income. And the last one is to know about the universe for from a sample. So children, average also help in obtaining an ideal of the complete universe by means of sample data. The average of a sample presents a clear picture of average of the population. So, like average, as I just said, represents the universe of a mass of the statistical data. So, one value represents all values of the series, and accordingly, conclusions can be drawn with respect of the universe as a whole. Children, if we're talking about the averages, the average can be classified into the two categories. The first one is your mathematical average, and the second one is your positional average. In mathematical average, you are going to learn arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. But this two one, like harmonic and geometry, is not in your topics, and you are only going to learn this arithmetic mean in your class 11th economics, whereas the second classification is your positional averages, which contains the three important parts, like you are going to learn the median, the partition value, and the mode. And children, if you're talking about the partition value, the position, it is classified as in median, partition, and the mode. And the partition value is further classified as the quartile, second is decile, and the third one is percentile. So, children, we have already gone through with this measures of central tendency. Like it describes a set of scores with a single number that describes the performance of the group, and it is also defined as a single value that is used to describe the center of the data. And for doing so, we have three classification of measures of center tendency. The first is mean, median, and mode. Now, as I just said, in this class 11th, you are only going to learn the mean deviation. So let us learn first what is mean deviation. Children, it is a simple average of all the items in a series. It is also called as simplest measure of central tendency. So arithmetic mean is a simple average of all the items of the series. It is the simplest measure of central tendency, and the arithmetic mean of a series is simply called a mean. So we have an observation here. Suppose if the total number of matches played in between the players are like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the total number of boys is only 5, then if we find out the mean marks of the mean marks scored by the players, so we can find that the total value of items divided with the number of items. So total value of item is 35 and the total number of items is only 5, so 35 divided by 5, it is 7 only. So the arithmetic mean is representing with x bar, and it is to be calculated like this: x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 and so on up to xn, and divided with the nth term. We can also write the formula, it is sigma x upon n. So this is the direct formula of calculating the arithmetic mean of an individual series, that is sigma x upon n. Children, here for your better understanding, there are some important formulas which is very helpful for you to finding out the arithmetic mean. Children, you all must be knowing that there are three kinds of series. The first one is your individual series, in where only the values or the item is being representing, and the second one is your discrete series. And what is discrete series? In this discrete series, children's items with their relevant frequencies are being given. So you can say items or whatever the values of any variable along with their frequencies are given. Third one is your continuous series, and in continuous series you are going to learn the class intervals along with the frequency. Like class interval starting with 0 to 10, the frequencies are, let's say, 5. 10 to 20, their frequencies are like 2. So this is called your continuous series. Kind of continuity you are observing here in the class intervals, like the it's 0 to 10. Like if suppose if this is a first class interval, and whatever the class whatever the upper class in the upper limit of first class interval itself become the lower limit in the next class interval. So these are basically the kind of series we want to be learn. And now we are going to learn the various formulas to understand this concept. So if we're talking about an arithmetic mean in individual series, and by direct method, it is x bar. Children, arithmetic mean is representing with x bar, and the formula to find out for arithmetic mean in individual series is sigma x upon n. This is a formula to calculate the arithmetic mean in an individual series. So in individual series for direct method, if we're talking about, the formula is sigma x upon n. X bar refers here the arithmetic mean, and sigma f. Children, this is called your sigma. Sigma, this representing here is the sum total. The sum total of all the observation. So sigma x, that is summation of values of variable x, and n refers here the number of observation. And if we calculate the arithmetic mean with shortcut formula, the formula is x bar is equals to a plus sigma d upon n. Here children, a is the assumed mean and sigma d is the sum of deviation of variables from the assumed mean. Then we have a step deviation. A step deviation formula is x bar is equals to a plus sigma d dash upon n into c. Now here d dash, sigma d dash is equals to sum of step deviations, and c refers here the common factor. Now we are moving on to the next variety of a series, which is a discrete series. And in discrete series, I have just said the formula to calculate arithmetic mean is by the direct formula, that is x bar is equals to sigma fx upon sigma f, or sigma f we can also write as n. So sigma fx is what? It is the sum of product variable of x with the frequencies, and sigma f is the total of frequencies. And for shortcut formula we have x bar is equals to a plus sigma fd upon sigma f. What is sigma fd? Sigma fd is the sum of the product of deviations and respective frequencies, and step deviation is children sigma x bar is equals to a plus sigma fd dash upon sigma f into c. Sigma fd dash is equals to sum of the product of step deviation and respective frequencies. So children, right now I'm just explaining you the simple and the discrete method, and in the next video I'm going to explain you the concept of the continuous series and how we need to apply the various formulas in calculating the arithmetic mean in the continuous series. Now we are going to learn the type of arithmetic means. Children, arithmetic mean can be of basically two types. The first one is simple arithmetic mean, second is weighted arithmetic mean. The method of calculating simple arithmetic mean is like the first, as you all know, there are three different types of statistical series. The first one is individual series, discrete series, and third is frequency distribution. Now we are going to find out the simple arithmetic mean in the individual series first. And as I just said, there are the two methods of calculating for the individual series, children. The first one is direct method, second is the shortcut method. The formula applied to find out arithmetic mean in the direct series is x bar, arithmetic mean is equals to sigma x upon n. This is your direct formula. And when you need to find out the same within shortcut formula, we have x bar is equals to a plus fraction sigma d upon n. What is sigma d? A is the assumed mean here, and sigma d is basically the sum of deviation from the observation. So this is the way how we need to be calculate. Now we'll see one numericals to calculate the arithmetic mean. Children, we have one question like the pocket allowance of 10 students is rupees like 15, 20, 30, 22, 25, 18, 40 and 50, 55 and 65. We need to be find out the average pocket allowance. So children, to find out the average pocket allowance, what we need to do is we need to apply the formula like arithmetic mean is equals to, then either we can do like this, like x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 and so on, with the total we need to be added all the respective pocket allowances of all the 10 students, and then we need to divide it with n is 10. So in this way we can calculate the arithmetic mean. So how would we calculate? Like we are writing the pocket allowance of each and every student like this. Now we find out first the summation of this x. The summation of this x comes like 340. As we added all the relevant values like this, we will get the value of 340, the summation of sigma x, and the total nth term is like 10. So the arithmetic mean can be calculated like x bar is equals to sigma x upon n, like 340 divided with 10, then we will get the value of 34. So this 34 is the average pocket allowance of all the 10 students. The same we can also calculate for the shortcut method, and the formula we will apply is x bar is equal to a plus sigma d upon n. A is the assumed mean, sigma d is deviation, that is x minus a, and how is d calculated? D is calculated by x minus a is equals to d. So this we are going to see in the next slide, how we are calculating the arithmetic mean in the discrete series. Now children, we are moving on to the next kind of series, like the discrete series, and we are going to learn how we are calculating arithmetic mean in discrete series. So in calculating the arithmetic mean from the discrete series, we have three different formulas. The first one is direct method, shortcut method, and step deviation method. So these are the three methods applied for calculating the arithmetic mean in the discrete series. So let us learn in the next slide. Children, we have basically a question, um, like this is a question which is given to us: from the following data of the marks obtained by the 60 students of a class, we need to calculate the average marks by the direct method. Children, this is first to be understand that this is basically an individual series in where the marks along with their frequencies are given. The marks are plotted like here. We make a table of showing, like we make a table of showing basic first this calculation by the direct method. So the marks I'm going to be writing in this way, like marks has been representing with x, and the marks obtained is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 60 and 70, and the total number of students which is representing here is like the frequency, it is 8, 12, 20, 10, 6, 4. So we need to be find out the arithmetic mean. So children, as I have just explained you the various formulas of calculating the arithmetic mean. So in discrete series, the direct formula is x bar is equals to sigma fx upon sigma f, and f refers here is n. So sigma f you can calculate by adding all the frequencies, and we need to find out f into x. So finding out f into x, what we are doing is we are multiplying marks with the relevant frequencies, and then we will get the values. So like 20 multiplied by 8, it is 160. 30 multiplied 12 is again 360. 40 divided by 20 is 800. 50 divided by 10 is 500. 60 divided by 6 is 360, and 70 divided by 4 is 280. So when you summarize the all these values, you will get the value sigma fx, and that is 2460. So we have a value of sigma x and sigma fx. So it is very easy now to calculate the arithmetic mean. Like the formula is sigma fx upon sigma f. So sigma fx is 2460, and the summation of frequency is 60. So 2460 divided by 60, it comes as 41. So 41 is the average marks of the students, the 60 students obtained from the various exams. So children, this is the way how we need to be calculate the arithmetic mean by the direct method. Now we will see the second method, that is a shortcut method. So children, to calculate the arithmetic mean from the shortcut method, there are some important steps we need to be followed. The first step is that we need to denote the variable as x and frequencies as y. The same we have done, like the marks we are representing with x, the number of students, the frequencies we are representing with f. Second is decide any items of a series as assumed mean. So you need to be decide any items. So like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, this all are the variables given to us. It's all up to you. It's all up to us, like we can assume any of a value. And children, one thing is to be understood, that while assuming any value, our answers came same. So like if we choose this 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 out of any value, the answers came same from all the various way. So we assumed here like 40, the assumed mean. Now the frequency we have written like this on just about in the next nest of marks. Then we need to be calculate the deviation. So deviation like d can be calculated from the assumed mean for each of the marks or the series. So d equals to x minus a. So x is like marks is d equals to x minus a. X minus a is equals to d. Like 40 we have assumed, so assumed mean we have allotted here as 40. Now 20 minus 40, it is minus 20. 30 minus 40 is minus 10. Then 40 minus 40 is 0. 50 minus 50 minus 40 is plus 10. 60 is plus 20, and then plus 30. Now we will get the value of deviation, that is x minus a. Now the next step is we have to multiply the deviation with the respective frequencies to obtain the value of sigma fd. So same we are doing is we are multiplying the frequencies, we are multiplying what the frequencies with this deviation, and we will get the value of sigma fd. So 8 multiplied by minus 20, it is minus 160. 12 multiplied by minus 10 is minus 20. 20 multiplied 0 is 20. 10 multiplied plus 10 is plus 100. 6 multiplied by plus 20 is 120. 4 multiplied by plus 30 is 120. So on children, we are multiplying the frequencies with the deviation value so as to find out the value of sigma fd. So we will get the value of fd. Now we need to be summarize this value. For summarizing this value, we just came to know that the minus values are like minus 160 plus minus 120. So the minus figure is minus 280. And if we calculating the positive value, it is 120, that is 240, and plus 40, it is 340. So children, the positive value, the summation of positive values, the variables are plus 340, and the negative is minus 280. So you all must be knowing that positive values is greater than this negative value. So that is why when you summarize this negative value is deducted from this positive value, and we will get the value of sigma fd, that is 60. So this is how we are calculating sigma fd and the summation of sigma f. Now we need to calculate the average marks. Now the average marks like earth x bar is to be calculated by applying a formula a plus sigma fd upon sigma f. This is the formula we are applying here. So so the assumed mean we have taken is 40 plus sigma fd is 60, and divided by summation of value 60. So 60 divided by 60 equals to 1, and 40 plus 1 is equals to 41. So this is the way how the arithmetic mean is being calculated in discrete series through the shortcut method. Now we are going to learn the final method of calculating the arithmetic mean in the discrete series, that is step deviation method. Children, in step deviation method there are again some steps which we again need to be follow up. Now so these are the steps of calculating the arithmetic mean by the step deviation. The first is we need to denote the variable x and the frequencies as f. That's we have done also in the previous way. The values, the variables we are representing with x, and the frequencies, the total number of students by f. Then we need to decide any items of a series as assumed mean. So the same we have to assume, like 40 we have assumed as an assumed mean. Then we need to find out the deviations that we have already done in the previous way. We are calculating the deviation, and deviation is calculating by subtracting the assumed mean from the variable. So d is to be calculated by subtracting the assumed mean from the x variable. So that is x minus a equals to d. So 20 minus 40 is minus 20, then minus 10, then 0, then plus 10, then plus 20, and then plus 30. Then we are calculating the d dash. Now deviation we have calculated. Now we need to be find out a common factor, that is c, and then calculated the d steps, that is the step deviation, which is d upon c. Children, a common factor is a factors which shows a common difference between each and every variable. So when you are observing these variables, you are just came to know that the variable is in a difference of 10 each. So the common multiple here, the common factor is 10 here. So we are going to find out d dash, and this d dash will be calculated by dividing like d with c. So d here is minus 20. Now this minus 20 divided by 10, it is minus 2, minus 1, then 0, then plus 10, plus 1, plus 2, and plus 3. Now we are multiplying the next step, the f into d dash. Now f into d dash we are calculating. Now this value is to be multiplied this value to get this value. So 8 into minus 2 is minus 16, then minus 12, then 0, then 10, 20, and plus 12. So this way we are finding out the value of sigma fd. So how is the average marks can be calculated, or the arithmetic mean is calculated? Now we will apply the formula, that is x bar equals to a plus sigma fd dash upon sigma f into c. So assumed is 6 here, as if we have assumed. Sigma fd dash is 6, but the summation of frequency is 60, and the common multiple is 1. So 40 plus 60 divided by 60. Now this 10 divided with this well, and 6 divided by this, and we will get 1 on the numerator. So the average is 40, that is assumed, plus 1. So it is the 41. So this is the average marks of the students obtained, same by the step deviation method. So children, so far in today's video, what we have understood, we have learned first the definition of the central tendency. Thereafter the arithmetic mean. We do have learned the objectives and the functions of calculating the arithmetic mean. Thereafter the some of the important formulas of calculating the arithmetic mean. Then we have learned the various calculations of calculating the simple arithmetic mean in individual series and discrete series by the direct method, the shortcut method, and in discrete series by the step deviation method. So children, that's all for today, and in the next video we are going to learn up the further topics of this chapter. So children, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day, and Sai Ram.